I'm really excited about today's video because your engagement party is the first big celebration in your wedding planning journey. This is going to be such a special moment for you, and your engagement party is going to be the best way to celebrate this news with your family and friends. So let's go through the 8 key steps to planning an incredible engagement party. Let's get into it. Welcome back, my loves, to the Curated Wedding. I'm Nazlee. I run Offley Place, an award-winning wedding venue where we have hosted hundreds of beautiful wedding days. I've also recently gotten married myself, so I'll be unveiling all my insider secrets and top tips from both sides of the aisle so that we can discuss the art of a curated wedding. So if you're interested, hit the subscribe button as well as the bell to be notified of my weekly wedding tips so that you do not miss a thing. Today we're talking all things engagement party, and we are getting into the details here. Your engagement party is the best way to celebrate this new chapter in your relationship with all of your loved ones, but it's also the perfect opportunity for your inner circles to meet and bond before the wedding. If you're having a longer engagement as well, this will be even more special because it will give you something to celebrate now, closer to the time, while you're waiting for the big day. And stick with me to the end for a little planning gift that's going to make it all so much simpler. But for now, let's talk about how to start planning such a special occasion. Number 1, decide who is hosting. Deciding who will host your engagement party is the initial step that sets the tone for the entire event. Traditionally, the engagement party is hosted by the parents of the bride, but honestly, anyone can host the event. Whether you choose to host it yourselves or have a family member take the lead or hand over the reins to a close friend, this decision will shape the dynamic of the whole event. Hosting your own engagement party gives you the freedom to create your party vision precisely. You can tailor every aspect from the venue to the decorations to reflect your style as a couple. However, it also means taking on the responsibility of event planning, which can be a lot to do depending on your preferences. Alternatively, trusting your family or friends to take on the hosting duties can alleviate some of that stress. They might have a deep understanding of your tastes and your preferences, making it easier to plan an event that you will really love. Plus, this can be a really meaningful way for them to contribute to your wedding journey. There is also always the option of working with a professional event planner. Just make sure that they really understand your vision and the sort of feel that you'd like for the day. Most wedding planners offer engagement party planning services as well, so they'll be an absolute godsend when it comes to organizing everything that you'll need and make planning the day a complete breeze. It could also be the perfect way for you to see if you'd like to work with this same planner for your wedding day. Ultimately, the decision is complete personal preference, so there is no right or wrong answer. I personally would always want to be involved in planning my own engagement party, as I'd have such a particular idea of how I'd want something to be and how I'd want the event to feel. So if you're anything like me, I'd suggest that at the very least you're involved in the planning. But if you have someone close to you who really wants to take the reins and you trust them, then absolutely go for it. Delegate the job and enjoy the day. Whether you choose to delegate the task entirely or to take it on yourselves, the goal is always to create a celebration that reflects your love and excitement with all of your loved ones. Choose a venue. The next step is to choose your venue. Choosing the perfect location sets the tone for your engagement party. So this is going to set the level of formality and the ambiance. So it's a really key decision. Think about whether you'd prefer a more relaxed atmosphere at home or a more formal setting at a restaurant or an event venue. Think about what you envision your guests to be wearing and the kind of food that you're thinking of serving. These 2 elements will really help you figure out the level of formality that you would prefer for your event. For example, if you'd really like a more elegant or formal celebration, then a rented venue may be the perfect place for you. If you'd prefer something more casual, then hosting at home in a garden creates a more relaxed and informal vibe. perfect for larger gatherings where you want the guests to move around more freely. Factor in the logistics of the venue, such as the size and availability, especially if you have a really specific date in mind. This will be important to check with the team at an external venue. When it came to our engagement party, we really wanted something between the two. We wanted a more elegant touch to our casual garden celebration. We wanted our guests to feel comfortable mingling so that our larger family and friends could really get to know and meet each other. So we hired a gorgeous yurt to be put up in my parents' back garden, and it was just perfect for us. It felt really special and different, but still had a comfortable vibe as we were still at home. Having the party at my parents' house was really meaningful for us. It's the place that I've grown up, and together we spent so much time there over the years. It's where our parents met each other, and it's at the heart of all of our family gatherings. So it was really special for us to host our party there. Now here comes the reality check. Hosting a larger party at your own home is a lot of work when it comes to organising the event. You'll have to sort the timing, sort all the decor, buy the food, drink, decide who's going to serve it, who's going to clear up throughout the event. This is one of my absolute pet peeves. Where are the guests going to come in from? Where are they going to come out from? Which toilets are they going to use? Where is everyone going to park their cars? If you're having external caterers come to your house, do they have what they need to be able to set up and work? Do they have that necessary space? These are just a few questions, but there are so many elements to it. It is all completely doable. I don't want to scare you off, but I just want you to go into it with your eyes wide open. Choosing an external venue is always going to be easier if you're not into planning and that kind of thing. The team there will help you with the timings, they'll organise the food and drink and clearing throughout and after the event. There'll usually be designated parking around the area. The team there may even help you set up the decor and your little bits like that. So really bear this in mind when it comes to choosing your location. Truthfully, the day before my engagement party and the morning straight after, we were doing a lot of setting up and clearing down. And although I was so happy with how it turned out, it definitely would have been much easier for all of us if we went elsewhere. Choose a date. Choosing the perfect date for your engagement party is crucial in making sure that everyone that you want to be there can actually make it and have the best time. Ideally, aim to host the celebration within the first few months of your proposal. That's when the excitement is still going to be really fresh, but don't feel pressured to rush into it. It's perfectly acceptable to wait a little bit longer to take it all in privately before sharing and celebrating with others. Think of factors like yours and your partner's schedules, as well as those of close friends and family. Timing is really key here, especially if you have loved ones traveling from abroad or if certain seasons are busier for work for others. Don't feel pressure to have an engagement party immediately. We got engaged in June and only had our party in September. It just gave us time to take in all the excitement a little bit more privately, which we personally preferred before we celebrated with all our friends and family. Also, we had quite a bit of family coming from abroad, and summer is my busiest time at work, so it just worked out much better for everyone. So if you're looking at hiring an external venue, of course you will have to check their availability, which may restrict things somewhat, but as you can be fairly flexible in that time period, I hope that you can find somewhere really lovely to host the party. I think 2 to 3 months after the proposal is perfect. It gives you enough time to take it all in, as well as some time to plan everything too. However, if you're having a slightly longer engagement, you may even prefer to have it even later than that. So don't feel pressured that it has to be done by a certain time. It is your special news and you can absolutely celebrate it when you're ready. Create the guest list. Creating the guest list for your engagement party is the next big step that will set the tone for your celebration. Whether you're organising the party yourselves or someone else is taking on organising it for you, carefully choose the list to include your closest friends, family members, and anyone else that you'd love to have with you there. Now, I want you to take note of this one. Please make sure that anyone invited to the engagement party will also receive an invitation to the wedding. So if you're unsure about whether you would invite someone to the wedding, Honestly, I'd suggest just taking them off the guest list for the engagement party. If someone is invited to your engagement party, they will naturally expect to be invited to the wedding too. So this is just a precautionary step to avoid any misunderstandings or any hurt feelings and set a clear expectation for your guests. You can always, further down the line, invite someone to your wedding who wasn't at the engagement party, but the other way around is a little trickier. So definitely consider this before you finalize your invitations. Now, planning an engagement party yourself simplifies the guest list process massively, as you'll have full control over the guest list and you can make sure that you have that consistency between engagement and wedding invitations. By thoughtfully selecting your guests, you are setting up for a really joyful celebration surrounded by those who actually mean the most to you. Plan the menu. Choosing the menu for your event is a big one because while your guests won't be too fussed about most things, this isn't one of them. And the food is something that they will remember, no pressure. So you'll need to consider the style and the ambiance of your event when deciding on food and drinks to serve. For a more casual gathering, you can choose a more relaxed menu with sharing boards, finger food, self-service drinks. This creates a more laid-back atmosphere where guests can mingle and enjoy themselves without any of that formality. Alternatively, if you're aiming for more of a sophisticated event, consider working with a caterer to offer canapes or serve bowl food. This adds an elegant touch to the event while still allowing your guests to move around and be comfortable in the space. This is the style that we went for our engagement party, working with an external catering team who came to our home. They circulated all night with canapes and bowl food, which went down so well with our guests. Now, if you're looking for more of a formal sit-down meal, this is going to take a little organising. You'll need a waiting team, chefs, and you'll definitely have to ask your guests for any dietary restrictions or preferences to make sure that you get it right. Ultimately, the food sets the tone in terms of the level of formality, so you want to get this part spot on. It needs to be something that reflects your style as a couple and leaves your guests really happy. Send invitations. Now that we have the venue, date, guest list, and menu sorted, you, my friend, are ready to start inviting your guests. This is the start of getting your guests excited and making sure that they know all the details. The type of invitation that you choose to go with should again reflect the style and tone of the engagement party. If you're having a more formal event or a seated dinner, paper invitations are such an elegant touch and allow you to get all the information that you'll need, such as their dietary restrictions. However, for a more casual gathering, a digital invitation, either through a text or email, also works really well and still gets all the key bits of information across. We sent a text invitation to all of our guests, which worked really well for us, as I just designed it myself on Canva and sent it out to everyone really easily. It meant that I knew that they'd received it and they could quickly message back with any questions or their replies. Now, what should you include in your invitations? This part is important. You will need to include the date, the time, the location, and any special instructions or requests if the venue is particularly difficult to access or if they need to know anything else. Let your guests know if the event is outdoors. You can really easily just include that it's a garden party or something else so that they know exactly what to expect and where they're going. Another important element is to set a deadline for your RSVPs. If you don't do this, I promise you will never hear back. And whatever deadline you set, make sure to allow a few weeks for people to reply late, because they will reply late. I would suggest giving them 1 to 2 weeks from when you send the invitation, but of course you can give them more notice if they're traveling from abroad or if your guests might need it for any reason. Do not set the RSVP date as the latest date that you will definitely need to know by. Always leave yourself a few weeks buffer room just to allow for that. And last important element, include a dress code. Honestly, I didn't. My brother told me to and I ignored him. And I had so many messages asking me what the dress code was and what guests should be wearing. He's gonna love that I'm admitting to this, by the way. Now, the reason I didn't was because I didn't want to impose any expectations on people, but honestly, what I've learned is people just wanna feel comfortable knowing that they're gonna turn up wearing the right thing. They don't like the uncertainty and they don't want to turn up really underdressed or crazy overdressed. So just take it from me and my brother, do yourself and them a favor and include the dress code. And if you'd like a video on different dress codes, what they mean and how to choose which one's right for your event, let me know in the comments down below. I know this one can be a little tricky. Set the scene. Setting the scene for your engagement party involves transforming your chosen venue into a space that reflects your personalities and your love story. Whether you choose to go more simple or extravagant with your decor, the goal is to create an exciting and happy atmosphere that resonates with you both. When it comes to your decor, I definitely suggest starting by choosing your color scheme. This will let you create a really cohesive look throughout the party. You can choose to add flowers, candles, and string lights for a little bit of ambiance at the venue. You can add decor to the guest tables, food stations, or just around the room, adding a touch of elegance and warmth to the setting. Balloons and streamers can also add a really playful and festive feel to the event as well. We worked with a stylist who installed white bunting and white paper lanterns to go all over the top of the yurt where we had our engagement party. It was so simple and all white, which was my color scheme. No surprises there. But it suddenly made this space feel so playful and happy and a lot more fun. So don't underestimate what a little decor can do. Personal touches such as photos or mementos from your relationship will go down so well for an engagement party. They'll make the event feel more intimate and meaningful and ultimately more you. For our engagement party, we had some photos of us throughout our relationship and some of our engagement shoot all displayed on an antique mirror, which was displayed for the guests to look at. Everyone loved seeing the photos. It was really special. To be honest, just in general, I'm really into details and decor, particularly personal details. So if you're interested in how to personalize your engagement party, let me know down below and I'll create a whole separate video just on that because I have so much to share. Whether you prefer a neutral color palette or vibrant hues, the key is to infuse the space with elements that reflect your unique style as a couple and set the stage for a fabulous engagement party. Choose your outfit. Now, this isn't to do with the party planning specifically, but it's still important and I don't want you to forget it. So on my list, choosing the right outfit for your engagement party is the final touch to planning your perfect celebration. Think about the formality and the venue that you've chosen when you're deciding on your outfit for the day. You'll want to choose something that really complements the ambiance while still allowing you to stand out as the VIP that you are. For brides-to-be, white dresses are a classic fail-safe that really positions you as the bride. If you want to go for white, I would suggest choosing something that's not too close to a wedding dress, something more playful and fun perhaps. I chose a mini blazer dress that had a bit of a touch of origami to it. I was really happy with it and I felt comfortable and special all night without feeling like I was wearing a wedding dress a little too soon. However, if you want to keep the white dress for the wedding or you just prefer to wear something more colourful, you absolutely can. It's your party after all, so think of floral patterns, soft pastels, or even something with a little bit of sparkle if it's an evening celebration. It's good to try and strike a balance between elegance and a little bit of casualness. That's my personal favourite, but it's a bit of an art to master, so just make sure that your outfit reflects your personal style and works well for the occasion. I wouldn't worry too much about what your other guests will be wearing. It's completely fine and probably a little expected that you may be slightly more overdressed than them. So feel completely comfortable and confident looking as special as you'd like. If you're buying a new outfit online, plan ahead and order it well in advance so that you've allowed enough time for shipping delays, if you don't like it and need to return or exchange, or if you do like it and need to make some alterations on it. You do not want to be stressing about your outfit last minute. Also, it goes without saying to choose shoes that are comfortable for you. The last thing you will want is to be in pain at your own party. Ultimately, choose an outfit that makes you feel confident and special and ready to celebrate with your loved ones. Now that's it for my little guide on how to plan an amazing engagement party to celebrate your love story with all your friends and family. I promised you a gift to make it all simpler, and I created the ultimate engagement party planning checklist that you can download completely free in my description box below. So make sure that you don't miss any steps. It'll include everything that I've gone over in this video, as well as some of my extra special touches. So have a look and save yourself a lot of stress. If you liked this video and if it was helpful, please give us a like, it would mean so much, and drop a comment down below to let me know what stage of planning you're at. In the meantime, you can catch me over on Instagram at the.curated.wedding, where I'm always posting fresh inspiration and tips, so you won't want to miss it, and I'll be back next week with another video. See you next time, and happy planning!